It's also where we find Lauren Johnson live right now. And Lauren, good morning. I think the obvious question now that police are probably trying to piece together, and fire investigators, are these connected?
Yeah, that's the big question this morning, Ryan. Hey, we can tell you Florida Power and Light just arrived here at this house fire on the scene at 20th and Maple. An employee jumped out of his truck, did a survey on foot of the home, walking around the house with a flashlight. Just moments ago decided to take the truck behind the house. We're guessing to make sure there is no power to the home. Now, firefighters have swarmed this street to get this fire under control. It seems to be that way, but we can still hear hoses, so there might be some hot spots still inside of that house. Of course, all of this commotion with the bright lights and lots of noise out here has neighbors coming outside to try to see exactly what's going on this morning. I can tell you there is still a very strong stench of smoke in the air here. Now, as you said, Ryan, this is not the only scene firefighters are working at this hour. We were at a scene earlier this morning, and we know that was still a very active scene. That address was East 6th Street in Palmetto. It was an unoccupied home. Our photojournalist Kim was able to get close to it and said that it was an old schoolhouse, still flames burning there, and we even saw a ladder high in the sky as firefighters were trying to get that scene under control. As we arrived here at Maple, we saw some of the fire engines heading down the street, racing away to a third scene. We're going to head there and, of course, bring you the latest on that as soon as we know what's going on there. We do understand that that is a trailer that was set fire. Now, Fire Marshal's office here says that they've been investigating a house fire that started earlier here in Sanford, earlier in the week. There was one on Monday on Palmetto Avenue as well, another one close by. So lots of fires in this area, lots of puzzles and pieces that they're trying to put together. Of course, we're going to bring the latest as soon as we get it. For now, reporting live in Sanford, Lauren Johnson, Fox 35 News.
On Fox 35.
Right now on Good Day Orlando, we're following this breaking news. 3 fires within just 2 miles of each other, one of them an historic building. We're live as investigators try to figure out if there's something suspicious going on.
Breaking news this morning, 3 fires burned overnight in Seminole County, just a few miles away from each other.
One of those fires destroyed an historic schoolhouse. Right now, Lauren Johnson is joining us live. She's along Ronald Reagan Boulevard in Seminole County with the latest on what's happening out there. These firefighters are scrambling this morning, Lauren.
Absolutely, Amy. This is fire number 3 that we've been to this morning. Take a look. This one's happening at a home right here near the Carriage Cove community, which is a mobile home community. At first, there was some confusion about this being a mobile home fire, but now we are being told it is a 2-story home. We're also told a woman called police saying her brother lived in the home, so there has been some questions over whether the home is occupied or vacant. At this time, we have not gotten an answer about that yet. Take a look. This is the 3rd fire scene again we've been to this morning. We just left a home on Maple at 20th Street in Sanford. We're told the electrical meters completely melted, which is usually unheard of. They believe that's what started the fire there. We understand a family was preparing to move into the home. They were staying in a hotel, and at some point today, the home was expected to be treated by pest control before that family moved in. Of course, that's not going to happen now. Less than 2 miles away from that scene on Palmetto is where firefighters were called this morning. Flames were still shooting out of the building when we arrived on that scene, and firefighters were up high on the ladder fighting flames from above. This one happening at a historic schoolhouse.
It's been used for cultural arts, it's been used for dance studios. Currently vacant. It's a big 2-story building, probably about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet.
So again, the state fire marshal being called in to investigate that one. They believe this one could be connected to other arsons that they believe happened earlier in the week. Of course, they're not saying that just yet, but they do say these fires are suspicious. Again, back out here in Seminole County, this is a 2-story home here near a mobile home community. Firefighters still battling this blaze. As we arrived here on the scene, we could still see some hot spots and flare-ups here on the roofs. Of course, we're going to stay out here and, of course, bring you the latest as soon as we get it. For now, reporting live in Seminole County, Lauren Johnson, Fox 35 News.
Fox 35's Lauren Johnson has been running from scene to scene. She's been very busy this morning, bringing us the latest on what's happening out there. I can only imagine how these firefighters feel. Hi, Lauren.
That's exactly what I just told them, Amy. I said, you know, it's tiring for me running around in these heels and the skirts. So imagine with all the heavy equipment they have on, what they've been going through all morning. This latest fire here just off Ronald Reagan Boulevard, we're just told that it's a 2-story abandoned house. The fire was contained to the 2nd floor. It is now under control, and it looks like crews are wrapping up things here. You know, the 3rd fire was over at Carriage Cove community, which is a mobile home park. At first, there was some confusion about this being a mobile home fire, but now we're being told it was a 2-story home. When we arrived there, we also saw flames shooting out of the roof at that home. We're told a woman called police saying her brother lived in the home, so there is a question over whether that home was occupied occupied or whether it was vacant or an abandoned home. We were also at a scene on Maple Street where initially investigators were telling us an electrical box in the back caught fire and a family was preparing to move into that home. Well, now that's not going to happen. Less than 2 miles away from that, this all started on Palmetto where firefighters were first called this morning. Flames were still shooting out of that building when we arrived on the scene about 4:30, and firefighters were up high on a ladder fighting the flames from above because they said it was just too much to go inside. This one happening at a historic schoolhouse.
Been used for cultural arts, been used for dance studios. Currently vacant. It's a big two-story building, probably about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet.
So again, back out here live, we're at the fourth fire for the morning here in Seminole County. I can tell you, we saw agencies from Seminole County, Lake Mary, Longwood, Sanford, lots of agencies cooperating this morning because they have been crisscrossing the county trying to fight these fires. Now the state fire marshal has been called in to investigate because, of course, earlier in the week there were also 2 suspicious fires on Palmetto. They're trying to get to the bottom of this and see if they have a serial arsonist on their hands here in Seminole County. For now, reporting live in Seminole County, Lauren Johnson, FOX 35 News.
Lauren Johnson has been with the crews every step of the way. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey, good morning, John, and imagine how tired they may be. Look, fire crews are just wrapping up the scene at the 4th fire here in Seminole County. We're going to give you a rundown of all 4 coming up in a live report.
All of them happening in Sanford and just blocks apart from each other. Fox 35's Lauren Johnson has also been going from fire to fire this morning, trying to figure out what's going on. It sure seems, Lauren, when you look at all this, like there might be a connection here.
Yeah, they're stopping short of saying that, but it seems that way. We did speak to Lieutenant Elisa Keys. She says in her 26 years with Seminole County, she's never seen anything like this. This is the scene of the 4th fire. Hopefully it's the final one this morning. We're here off Ronald Reagan Boulevard at Hester. This was a 2-story abandoned building. The fire was contained to the top floor. Firefighters were able to get that under wraps, and now they're wrapping up the scene here. Hopefully able to have a break. We did speak to one firefighter who says he's been at all 4 scenes this morning, been out since 3:30. Must be taxing on them. The 3rd fire was at Carriage Cove Community, which is a mobile home community. At first, there was some confusion about this being a mobile home fire, but we're now being told that was also a 2-story home. Not sure at all if that was a vacant home or if it was occupied, because a woman did call police earlier this morning saying that her brother lived in that home. Now, we were also at a fire this morning that started all of this on Palmetto, where firefighters were first called out. Flames were still shooting out of that building when we arrived on the scene there. Firefighters had to put that ladder up high in the sky to fight the flames from above because it was such a big structure. That one happening at a historic schoolhouse. Take a listen.
Been used for cultural arts, been used for dance studios. Currently vacant. It's a big 2-story building, probably about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet.
So again, back out here live, you can see fire crews wrapping up the scene here at the final fire, we hope, this morning. And we were told that agencies from all over Seminole County had to join in and help fight these fires. Oviedo, Longwood, Sanford, Seminole County. It was a big undertaking this morning. We do understand the state fire marshal is investigating all of the fires this morning because earlier in the week there were 2 suspicious fires as well. Hopefully Seminole County can catch whoever's responsible, but they are thinking they may have a serial arsonist on their hands. For now, reporting live in Seminole County, Lauren Johnson, FOX 35 News.
Lauren's also been going from scene to scene along with the firefighters this morning, trying to figure out what's going on out there. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Amy, it's still one big mystery right now. They don't even know if all of these are connected, but that is the big question, and the investigation is underway. This is the scene of the final fire. It's here off of Ronald Reagan on Hester Avenue. Firefighters pretty much wrapped up the scene here. What we do understand happened at this one was that it's a 2-story building. The fire was contained to the 2nd floor. Firefighters able to get up on that ladder and get this one under control pretty quickly. The 3rd fire, going backwards, was near the Carriage Cove community, which is a mobile home park. There was some confusion in the beginning about the fire being at a mobile home, but now we're being told it was a 2-story home. We could see flames shooting out of the roof of that home when we arrived there. We also understand a woman called police saying her brother lived in the home, so there was some type of question over whether the home was occupied or vacant. Now rewind to the beginning of the morning. Less than 2 miles from that scene on Palmetto is where firefighters were first called this morning. Flames were still shooting out of the building at that place when we arrived out on the scene there. Firefighters were very high up on a ladder fighting flames in the dark hours of the morning. This one happening at a historic schoolhouse.
Been used for cultural arts, been used for dance studios. Currently vacant. It's a big 2-story building, probably about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet.
back out here live. We understand some of the fire crews have been at all 4 fires this morning, been out since 3:30 on the trucks, jumping on and off, pulling these heavy hoses with that heavy equipment on. Very taxing job. We understand Oviedo, Longwood, Seminole County, Sanford, all of them participating to help fight these fires. Now, we do understand the state fire marshal is being called in to investigate all of these since they do think it's suspicious, because earlier in the week there was also 2 house fires at vacant buildings that also seem suspicious. Right now, there's an ongoing investigation. For now, reporting live in Seminole County, Lauren Johnson, Fox 35 News.
Fires are all clustered near the Sanford area, and Fox 35's Lauren Johnson has been following the firefighters from one to the next. She's at the historic schoolhouse in Sanford that burned down this morning. So what's the story out there, Lauren?
All right, John. Well, here's where it all started this morning. We arrived here about 4:30 this morning, and you can see firefighters still on the scene here. Actually, just moments ago, they just took that ladder off this home where they were shooting water in through the top of the house, because guess what? There's no roof here anymore. This house is completely damaged. This all started, as we said, very early this morning. When we came here on the scene, flames were still shooting out of the building. Firefighters were up high on that ladder fighting those flames. And again, as you said, John, this one happening at a historic schoolhouse. Well, fast forward, we went over to Maple and 20th Street. We're told electrical meters completely melted, which is usually unheard of over at that home. We understand a family was preparing to move into the home. They were staying in a hotel, and at some point today, the home was expected to be treated by pest control before that family moved in. Well, of course, that's not going to happen now. While we were there, a third fire near the Carriage Cove community, which is a mobile home park. At first, there was some confusion about this being a mobile home fire, but now we're told it was a two-story home. We were also told a woman called police saying her brother lived in that home, so there was some question over whether the home was occupied or vacant. And of course, we saw firefighters racing from that scene to the fourth and what we hope is the final scene, that one off Ronald Reagan near Hester. We are told that that was a 2-story structure, an abandoned house as well. The fire started in the upstairs area. They were able to contain that one pretty fast. So fire crews have swarmed several streets all over Sanford and Seminole County this morning, jumping on and off the trucks, putting on that heavy equipment, pulling those heavy hoses. Very tiring and taxing for them. Right now, the state fire marshal is investigating all 4 fires to see if they're connected to fires that happened earlier in the week, just a block apart. For now, reporting live in Sanford, Lauren Johnson, Fox 35 News.
Fox 35's Lauren Johnson is live with the very latest on that. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey, good morning to you, John. I guess you want to see this more than you want to see me, so let me step out of the way. You can see this historic schoolhouse completely charred. In fact, the stench of smoke fills the air here. No roof even on the building. It's really all a complete and total loss. And we noticed when we walked around to the front of that house, a for sale sign out front. Guess that's not going to happen anymore. When we arrived here around 4:30 this morning, flames were still shooting out of the building. Firefighters were up high on the ladder fighting flames from above, because we understand this building was about 5,000 square feet. Too hard for firefighters to go inside. And again, this historic schoolhouse, a complete and total loss. As this was happening, we headed over to Maple at 20th Street in Sanford. We're told the electrical meters completely melted, which is unusually heard of. We understand a family was preparing to move into that home. They were staying in a hotel, and at some point today, that home was expected to be treated by pest control, and the family was going to move in. Now, that will not happen. As that was going on, a third fire near the Carriage Cove community, which is a mobile home community. When we first arrived there, we had some confusion about this being a mobile home fire, but it was in fact a 2-story home. Again, flames were shooting out of the roof of that home as well. Many engines still fighting that fire, when you could see firefighters scrambling to the fourth and final scene. That was Ronald Reagan near Hester. When we arrived there, we learned that it was a 2-story structure. The fire started upstairs on the 2nd floor, and they were able to contain that pretty quickly. So fire crews have swarmed the streets all over Sanford and Seminole County this morning. They've been jumping on and off the truck with that heavy equipment, as well as pulling hoses and going higher in the skies to fight these fires. Right now, the state fire marshal is investigating to find out exactly how these are all connected, if they are, because there were also 2 other suspicious fires earlier in the week. Now, Seminole County wants to know if they have a serial arsonist on their hands. For now, reporting live in Sanford, Lauren Johnson, Fox 35 News.